Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this morning we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 18. Diti vows to kill Indra. Text number 44 and 45. Shri Kashyapa Uvacha Putraste Bhavita Bhadre Indraha Deva Bandhavaha Samvatsaram Vratamidam Yadyanjo Dharayeshashi. Shri Kashyapa Uvacha Putraste Bhavita Bhadre Indraha Deva Bandhavaha Samvatsaram Vratamidam Yadyanjo Dharayeshashi. Shri Kashyapa Uvacha Putraste Bhavita Bhadre Indraha Deva Bandhavaha Samvatsaram Vratamidam Yadyanjo Dharayeshashi. Please chant. Putraste Bhavita Bhadre Indraha Deva Bandhavaha Samvatsaram Vratamidam Yadyanjo Dharayeshashi. Shri Kashyapa Uvacha Putraste Bhavita Bhadre Indraha Deva Bandhavaha Samvatsaram Vratamidam Yadyanjo Dharayeshashi. Shri Kashyapa Uvacha Putraste Bhavita Bhadre Indraha Deva Bandhavaha Samvatsaram Vratamidam Yadyanjo Dharayeshashi. Shri Kashyapa Uvacha Indraste Yadyanjo Dharayeshashi. Shri Kashyapa Uvacha Putraste Bhavita Bhadre Indraha Deva Bandhavaha Samvatsaram Vratamidam Yadyanjo Dharayeshashi. Shri Kashyapa Uvacha Putraste Bhavita Bhadre Indraha Deva Bandhavaha Samvatsaram Vratamidam Yadyanjo Dharayeshashi. Thank you. Shri Kashyapa Uvacha Putraha son te your Bhavita will be Bhadre, O gentle woman, Indraha, killer of Indra, or follower of Indra. Adeva Bandavaha, friend of the demons. Or Deva Bandavaha, friend of the demigods. Samvatsaram, for a year. Vratam, vow. Idam, this. Yadi, if. Anjaha, properly. Dharayeshashi, you will execute. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Kashyapa Muni said, my dear gentle wife, if you follow my instructions regarding this vow for at least 1 year, you will surely get a son who will be able to kill Indra. However, if you deviate from this vow of following the Vaishnava principles, you will get a son who will be favorable to Indra. Please repeat. Kashyapa Muni said, my dear gentle wife, if you follow my instructions regarding this vow for at least 1 year, you will surely get a son who will be able to kill Indra. However, if you deviate from this vow of following the Vaishnava principles, you will get a son who will be favorable to Indra. Now the purport. The word Indraha refers to an asura who is always eager to kill Indra. An enemy of Indra is naturally a friend of the asuras. But the word Indraha also refers to one who follows Indra or who is obedient to him. When one becomes a devotee of Indra, he is certainly a friend to the demigods. Thus the word Indraha, Deva Bandava are equivocal. For they say, your son will kill Indra, but he will be very friendly to the demigods. If a person actually becomes friend to the demigods, he certainly would not be able to kill Indra. Hare Krishna. So we also have text number 44. I will read the translation. Iti sanchintya bhagavan marichaha kurunandana uvacha kinchit kupita atmanam cha vigarhayan. Sri Shukadev Goswami said, Kashyapa Muni, thinking in this way, became somewhat angry. Condemning himself, O Maharaj Parikshit, descendant of Kuru, he spoke to Diti as follows. And today's translation one more time. Kashyapa Muni said, my dear gentle wife, if you follow my instructions regarding this vow, for at least 1 year, you will surely get a son who will be able to kill Indra. However, if you deviate from this vow of following the Vaishnava principles, you will get a son who will be favorable to Indra. Srila Prabhupada ki. So the question was asked by Parikshit Maharaj when Shukadev Goswami was describing the dynasty of descendants of Daksha Prajapati. Daksha Prajapati, he had so many daughters, and many of them were given to Kashyapa Muni. So Kashyapa Muni, from there Shukadev Goswami started to explain, describe the descendants of Aditi, first of all. And Aditi's children, Aditi's descendants are known as Adityas. Vivaswan, Aryama, Pusha, Twashta, Sabita, Bhaga, Mitra, Shatru, Urukrama, and so on. Urukrama is the last one. The last one is Vaman Dev. So including all that, they are known as Dwadasa Aditya, 12 sons of Aditi. So while he was describing, Vivaswan, Aryama, Pusha, and he came to Twashta, he described Twashta. The son of Twashta was Vishwarup. Vishwarup became the king, the guru of demigods. When Brihaspati just went away. So that was inquiry again. Parikshit Maharaj asked first how that happened, why Brihaspati has to hide, and how Vishwarup became guru of demigods. And then that continued for so many chapters. Vishwarup was killed and he was born as who? No, Vishwarup was killed. Then Twashta created another son as, who was it? Vritrasura. And then Parikshit Maharaj asked again, Vritrasura was a demon, apparently how he became such a nice devotee, fixed up. And then it goes on for a few other chapters, so many chapters of description. And then in this chapter, 18th chapter, it continues, comes back to the point, where he left off. Such a expert speaker. He doesn't get lost, and he doesn't deviate from the topic. And also Parikshit Maharaj, such a nice, hearing, such a nice hearing he has, very oriented. He always comes back to continue the topic. So he said, Shukadeva Goswami was describing that, and then he finished Diti's son, and then he said Aditi's children, and then he came to Diti's. However, Diti has only 2 sons, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. They were killed by, they were caused to be killed by Indra through Lord Vishnu. Right? So Hiranyaksha was killed by Varaha avatar, and Hiranyakashipu was killed by Nrsimha. And then, because these both of the sons, great demons, were killed, then Diti became so morose. And she planned, she was thinking, how bad it is. I had only 2 sons, only 2. And when these 2 were killed by Indra, I got to do something about it. So, and she thought many of things, and then she planned to get another son to kill Indra. And in shortcut, Shukadeva Goswami mentioned that she got another, she followed a vow, and then she had a womb to kill Indra, and then somehow or other they became 49, and they were not able to kill Indra. Instead, they became friend of Indra. They were known as Marut. So the question Parikshit Maharaj asked was how, Aditi is, her mentality was spoiled. She is, of course, she is thinking the progress of demons always, and the child coming out of her should be demon. How it happened that they became friend of Indra. So that's, and now going to into the detail. Sukadeva Goswami. Then he says that Diti, having this in mind, that she wants to have a child who can kill Indra. And also, as it says the previous shloka, Amrityum, however it says, I want a child who will be immortal, but he will kill Indra and demigods. So that was her mentality. But this she did not disclose first. Having this, and then she thought that this only my husband can fulfill this, my desire. So I should be oriented, because the thing before, she also remembers, before she had this Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, she suddenly approached Kashyapa without any plan, because she has some desire, lusty desires. Of course, she wanted to have a child too. And then this happened without any plan. All of a sudden, Kashyapa Muni was sitting. It was sunset time. He was doing his. He was in samadhi. He was meditating. But then she forced him to engage in sexual intercourse. He was. He couldn't help himself. So at the end, he said, it's too bad. You forced me to do this, and it's very bad time. Therefore, your sons will be born as demons. But what can be done? It's past. So this time, Diti is planning, and she has a very good plan, and she is faithfully serving her husband, Kashyapa Muni. She didn't disclose. And after serving a long time, Kashyapa Muni became very pleased with her. Very pleased. So pleased that he himself said, Varam varayava moru. You ask for any boon. I'm so pleased with your service. You're so dedicated. You're so gentle, so wonderful, so faithful. I'm so pleased with your service. You ask for any boons. Then she disclosed, Putram Indrahanam Vrine Bharado Yadime Brahman Putram Indrahanam Vrine. If you want to grant me a boon, I want to have this boon, that I would have a child. I would like to have a child who can kill Indra. By hearing this, Kashyapa Muni is regretting now again. I'm so fool. He's not criticizing women. Although apparently it may look like Allah, so many shlokas have been criticizing women. Prabhupada explains it's the nature of women that is discussed. Nature of. So Kashyapa Muni is thinking, I'm so useless. So fool I was. I was fooled by her trick. I should have thought about. After thinking of so many things, and he said, and he's still thinking now. This one. Iti sanchinte, in the 44th, it says, Iti sanchinte. He had thought for a while, in front of her. He's condemning himself. I was so full. I just gave words without thinking. Without thinking, people give, benedictions. That happened also in the history. We find such indications. Bhasmasura was performing austerities to please one of the god. Finally he was able to please Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva came, appeared in front of him. What do you want, my dear devotee? He said, I want a benediction. And somehow or other, by mistake, or unfortunately, Lord Shiva appeared there with his wife, in a hurry, because Bhasmasura was cutting his head and offering to the fire. So in a hurry, Lord Shiva appeared there along with his wife. So Bhasmasura got to see, Mother Parvati. Oh, she's so nice, wonderful. If I can kill this guy, I can enjoy her. So it suddenly came that in mind, let me have this benediction, that as soon as I touch somebody's head, he will die. Lord Shiva said, Tathastu, Hare Krishna, you can have it. So he did, he could have thought, what will happen, what can happen next. So as soon as he got the bone, Brahmana started, stretching his hand like this, upon the, Lord Shiva's head. So Lord Shiva had to run away. And the Brahmana was chasing and chasing and chasing. Lord Shiva got tired. All of a sudden, Lord Vishnu appeared on the way as a nice little brahmachari. And he said, he asked the Vashmasura, he was running, he was sweating like anything, he was, trying to get Lord Shiva. Lord Vishnu said, oh my dear Asura, why are you running? Can you just wait, just rest a little bit, I want to talk to you. No, I don't have time, I'm very busy, I have to touch him, I have to get him, And why? What's the matter? I said, Lord Shiva, he gave me a benediction, and I'm going to try on him. And then Lord Vishnu started laughing like anything. He started, And then, and he said, why are you laughing? It's not funny. He said, but listen to me, I'll tell you. So Vashmasura stood there, and then Lord Vishnu started explaining, he's a little brahmachari looking very attractive, The Asura had nothing to do with him, but he got deluded by, he started to listen to him. He said, see, since the time Daksha Prajapati has cursed him, they have a little, what is it called, not well going together. So Daksha Prajapati cursed him because he's so filthy, always have snakes around, and he just goes around in the crematorium, gets ashes all over the place. It's not so good. And since then, his blessings are not working, his bones are not working. You are so fool, man. If you don't believe me, tie it on your head. Tie it on your head. But there's a current. If I touch my head, I will die. No, but you just try slowly. If you get some current, then you... So, of course, Lord Vishnu is there to delude him. He put his hand, Hare Krishna. So, they are personalities who give words without thinking. We may get into that also sometimes and get into trouble. And Brahma also happens the same. So, Kashyap Muni, Iti Sanchintya Bhagavan Maricha Kurunandana, so he became a little upset, a little angry within himself. But he didn't disclose this anger upon her. He could have said, well, third class ready, you cheated me, you plundered me, you get out from here. He could have said, but that's not the culture. She is his wife. He have to keep things himself. Whatever happens within family, you cannot just disclose, go around and tell, my husband is like that, my wife is like that. This he had to keep himself. That's called working out. You have to keep secret. Things should not go out, what is happening inside the family. The anger he has, but he didn't disclose. He said, you will have son. Badre means auspicious lady, Even though she cheated him by such a trick, but he's saying, oh, auspicious lady, you will have a son. Because Kashyap Muni getting into plan, getting into idea, she is, of course, she's a mother of demons, and she's always thinking of how to do bad to the demigods. And so that she can be secure, insurance policy. So Kashyap Muni getting into very nice plan. He thought, okay, I can pacify her. If I show her my anger, then she will not follow me. But if I become calm and normal, she will follow me, and then I can train her to be devotee. Yeah? So he said, you will have a son. You will have a son who can kill Indra and Adeva Bandavaha, and he will become friend of demons. But the condition is that I will suggest you something, and you will follow this vow for 1 year. Prabhupada said, at least 1 year. At least 1 year you follow this nicely. Anjaha. Anjaha means properly, yathavat, as it is, as I told you, as I tell you. If you follow this, you will have son. So it's very tactic. What is it called? Tactic or tic-tac? Tactic word. It is a very trickful words here. In Bhagavatam you will find such statements in different places. Such as when Kansa was driving the chariot of Vasudeva when they newly married, and he wanted, he wanted to help them out, take them, go, and get them to the house. So Kansa was driving the chariot, and on the way, what happened? There was a sky voice. What is called? Radio. Sky voice. Fool, you will be killed by the 8th child of Devaki. So he's a demon. He cannot think anything left and right. He's immediately, okay, Devaki is here, I will kill her. So, the killer will not come. He was able to kill, he was ready to kill Devaki. So that time, Vasudeva is such a first-class devotee, and gentle and very scholarly also. So he tricked with the word. He thought that I should make this plan. At least if I can save Devaki now, I will think, and we'll see what happens in the future. So he gave this word to Kamsa. He said, Putranste samarpayishyami. I forgot the word. He gave a word that all the sons what I will have from Devaki, I will give to you, and do what you want. You're okay with that? The sons which you will have fear, you're concerned of 8th child of Devaki. Why are you killing now? Killing her now. Whatever concern you have, whenever you have, whichever son you have concern from, Devaki's son, I will give it to you. Give. So you deal with them. So here, Acharya is explaining that there is a A silent. If you use that A silent, then becomes that Vasudeva told Kamsa that if you have these sons from whom you will have no fear, I will give it to them, to you. But the mainly which you concern, that I will not give it to you. The 8th child that you are afraid of, that I will not give you. Like that, the words are played around. So, other sons Kansa was able to kill, right? And then when 8th child came, Kansa was not able to kill him. So that, sometimes people say, why Vasudeva promised and he didn't give. Vasudeva said what he said, but Kansa understood a different way. So similarly here, Kashyapa Muni is tricking. And within himself he said, yes, you will have a child. You will have a child who won't be able to kill Indra, and he become the friends of Indra. But openly he said, yes, you will have son. You will have son who will kill Indra, and who will be a friend of demons. But the only difference here was Indraha, Prabhupada also translates it in two different ways. Indraha, Devabandhava, means killer of Indra and friend of demigods. And Indraha, Adeva Bandhava. Adeva means not demigods, means asuras. Killer of Indra and friend of demons. So Indra Ha, this word also have two meanings. Ha, the Ha comes from the dhatu, the root verb, verbal root, the root verb Han. Han has two meanings. Han hinsagatyoho, hinsa. Han has one meaning of killing, another meaning of going or following. So the Ha here means a killer of Indra or follower of Indra. So in this way there are two meanings. So and kinchit vaigunyeta pratasya vaishnavatvena sarvatha vaifalya sambhavat. And you follow this for 1 year, you will have child as you desire. But if you are unable to do it, still, because this is the vow based on Vaishnava principles, it will not go vain. Something will be there. Yeah? If you are unable to follow this, you may not have child who is killing Indra, but you will have child who will be friend of demigods. So that means to get a worthy son, to have a qualified child, one must go for some austerity, some kind of vrata, some vow. And in Bhagavatam you see that, even Devaki and Vasudeva, to have a child, Prabhupada writes, Prabhupada speaks on the lecture, 1972 in Tokyo, April 24th. Prabhupada quoting from Tulsidas, it's a Hindi poet, and comparing these two words. He says, either when one is born from a father, when one is son of father, then you can see either he is a put or he is a mut. The put and mut is two words he is analyzing. When the son becomes unworthy, then he is as good as you say, as good or as bad as urine. And when one becomes a worthy son, qualified, then he is a son. Son means what? Then Prabhupada explains. What is son? Putra is not a product of sexual intercourse, Prabhupada says. Putra, the word is used for son. Putra is not the product of sexual intercourse. Putra is what? Putra pinda prayojanam. This Prabhupada says. Like that. And he says, this is quoting from Manu Samhita. He says, Atmavanstu bhave rekah. One who is self-controlled, whose senses are in control, he may remain alone like brahmachari or sannyasi. He doesn't need anybody because his senses are controlled. But if he is unable to control the senses, then bharyam ichchati anatmavan. Anatmavan means not able to control the senses, so let me get married. So long I was brahmachari, I was doing devotional service alone. So now I get married and we both will, perform the devotional service. So that's the meaning of marriage. You get married and continue devotional service together. Bharyam ichchati anatmavan. Not being able to control the senses, one gets married. But there is a purpose of having wife. Wife is for what? He says, putrarthe kriyate bharya. Putrarthe kriyate bharya. When you get married, then there must be some byproducts, right? So there must be a child. And mostly in India, it is a fanatic idea that I must have a child, I must have a son, but no daughter. It doesn't matter, either you have son or daughter, it does not matter. At least some issue you have. Because Chanakya Pandit says, Putra hinam griham shunyam. The house where there is no child is just vacant. Putra, he says putra. Putra means putra also refers to a daughter. Either putra or putri, it's the same. One must have at least one child or more. More is fine. Prabhupada speaks in other places. A normal woman desires always at least half a dozen of children. Right? Half a dozen of children. Dozen is fine. At least half a dozen of children. You know. Otherwise, quarter dozen still okay. Yeah. Be happy. Quarter dozen is still wonderful. So to have a worthy child, and we just don't want, Krishna consciousness is so wonderful, and we want to have wonderful children. We want to have wonderful children. So to have wonderful children, we must follow some kind of vow, some kind of restriction in Krishna consciousness, so that we will have a child who is obedient, who is able to learn, right? Able to learn many shastras and can preach in the world. So that's why we desire. We don't want to have any surprises, you know. So therefore, we should plan. Once you are married, then we should plan when to perform Garbhadan Sanskar, when to perform, Punsavan Sanskar. If you want to really have a child, boy child, Punsavan Sanskar is needed. If you don't mind, if you don't mind to have a girl child, it's fine. At least do the sanskar. It's up to Krishna's hand. He will give you a boy child or a girl child. Be happy. You are in Krishna consciousness, and accept any child comes as the blessings of Krishna, and train them up. That's the duty of parent. Train them up. In my phone, I have a Prabhupada Daily. Prabhupada Daily. There's an application. There was one recently. He said, "Train your children in Krishna consciousness. Train your children in Krishna consciousness." It means that I have children, but what is my duty? Don't let them go anywhere and everywhere. We have to keep eyes on them. We have to keep them in restriction, in Krishna consciousness. Give them Krishna consciousness. So in that way, children will grow as faithful children, obedient children, and devotees. Chanakya Pandit says, Kortaha putrena jatena yo na vidwan na bhaktiman. What's the use of having a child who is not a scholar? At least one should become devotee. What's the use of having a child who is not devotee, neither a scholar? At least if he's a scholar, then he can understand. He can understand the preaching of devotees, and they come and tell you, you're not this body, man. If he's a scholar, then he can understand. But if he's not a scholar, then he will not understand. So at least the most, we should try to make them devotees. Otherwise, at least scholars, okay, you cannot go to Gurukul, you cannot learn the Krishna conscious education, then go and learn something from other schools. But, my father said one time, because I went to Arya Samaj for a few years. I was so much into learning Sanskrit. And then by fortune or by infortune, whatever it's called, I found this place where I could learn for free, but that was Arya Samaj. My father said, I have given you the seat, I have given you the background, I have trained you up to now. Now you go, learn from Arya Samaj, learn what you can, as much as you can, but you must come back. That was his word to me. You must come back. So I just didn't want to continue to be Arya Samaji because I was educated in Arya Samaj school. No, I had to come back. So like that, if you can promise, if you can make your child promise that yes, I will go take education from any school and later I can come back, I'll become devotee, I'll take initiation. And chant Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. So that's wonderful. But the best is, they can go in Krishna conscious school and then they become, wonderful devotees. So nice. So to have a child is not a joke. To have a child is not a joke. You have to plan. So Prabhupada speaks about Garbhadan Sanskar many times during his writings and speakings, his speeches. Garbhadan Sanskar is needed. Garbhadan Sanskar. And there are many other sanskaras following that. So, there was a Brahmana in Padma Puran. The instance is given. There was a Brahman married to a nice woman. He was such a scholar, such a wonderful Brahman. He looked like another sun god. But then they didn't have children. So the one day he became so morose, he left home and went somewhere. Okay, if I don't have a child, I cannot have a child, then better I should die. So he walked quite distance and in the forest. He sat down. At that time, by his good fortune, one saintly person came. Saintly person came and he also sat in the same place. So they both started to talk, and the saintly, being saintly and very elevated person, he could understand this guy has some problem. So he said, you have some issue. Why you are so, look not so happy? So he said, yeah, you understood. That's exactly what I am. I enjoy so much happiness, but there is no child. And without child, everything is zero. Nothing. Without child, there is nothing. So please give me a child. You are so elevated personality. If you bless me, I will for sure have a child. Please bless me. Please give me a child. So while he was talking, so this saintly person looked through his, there is a writings over here. He said, Tad bhalakshara malam. He said, I looked through your prarabdha. Prarabdha. Those who have done Bhakti Shastri don't know about this. Prarabdha. What is prarabdha? Prarabdha means you have some karma in previous life and that is beginning to come out right now. So prarabdha. I have looked through. I have studied your prarabdha already and you understand from me that for sure you will not have child, not only this life, for 7 more lives you will not have child. So forget about it. You come with me. I'll give you initiation. You chant Hare Krishna and take sannyas. Please with me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. He said, no, that's all bogus. I cannot live without child. You don't know. You're sannyasi. You don't know the happiness of grihasthas. When they have a child, how they are happy to see their little child talking, in their broken language. You don't understand. But you can. You can. Please bless me. Please bless me so that I will have a child. Then I will be happy. He gave different instances like, King Sagar had 60,000 sons. He had to regret. Why? Because they all grown up as arrogant and they offended Kapil Muni and they all got burnt. Another instance, King Anga, right? King Anga had a child. He became demon. And he has to leave home and go. It was so painful. Another instance, Chitraketu. He was not supposed to have a child. But by force, he by the mercy of the Rishi, he had a child, but then he suffered so much. Therefore, don't be into this. But he still cried, It's just, all these stories you are telling me, it just doesn't help. I want a child. He said, okay. You also need to experience. So he pulled out a fruit from his bag and he gave it to him. Okay, take this fruit. This is already energized with my mantras and divine power. You will have a nice child if you follow these rules and regulations. I will tell you. He gave some rules and regulations. He said, you take this and feed this to your wife and instruct her this what I'm telling you, and you will have a very nice child. So he was so happy. So he came back home, he gave this to his wife, and then he instructed all that's she's supposed to follow, but she was not into it anyway. And you see, because he's a Brahmin, he just goes here and there, you know what a Brahmin do, right? Somebody calls and he had to go do yajna, and somebody calls and do this and do that. He was busy. And he said, okay, you eat this fruit, you will have a child, okay, nice child. So she didn't eat the fruit. She didn't eat the fruit. She was such a woman. And I can tell you, I don't have time to explain all that, but she was such a interesting woman. Even if you hear, you say, oh, that's no, I can't hear about it. She would, at home she was nice. At home she was so nice, therefore the Brahman couldn't detect that she was so bad. She was so nice, so nicely doing everything at home and so nicely behaved. But outside, she would always quarrel with the neighbors. Always quarrel with the neighbors, always have debate with them, and every time she had to win. Somehow or other, she had to win. Otherwise, she will beat them up. Such a quality she had, and she was not into getting any child. So one day she phoned her friend and then she started complaining, my husband got a fruit, and then he said, I will have a child. I'm so beautiful, I'm so handsome, and I don't want to get pregnant, but he wants a son. What can be done? And her friend was so clever. She said, well, you have money, right? Give me some money. I will have a child soon. I will give it to you, and you just pretend for some time that you are pregnant, and then you will have a child. When I will have a child, I'll give it to you, and then give me some money. Fine. So you don't have to go through the trouble. So they worked out some way. So time came. She pretended for some time. The time came. Oh, I have a child. She started saying that because the child was bought, with money. It was not her child. And the fruit she didn't eat because she threw. She had a cow. Also, the cow was also not having child. So she threw that child, and she was suggested to give this fruit. And who cares who some sadhu gave this fruit? It will work or not. Okay, for test, for experiment. Give this to the animal. So cow ate the fruit. Cow had a child. Such a nice child, like a human child. Yeah, because it's a blessing of sadhu. Human child, but the ears are like cows, so he was known as Gokarna. Haribol. Ears like cows, so he was known as Gokarna. And this fellow who she borrowed from, or she bought, he grew up to be a dacoit, rascal. And this story, Shuta Goswami is telling, he says, in half sloka he analyzed this too. He says, Gokarna Pandito Jnani Dhundukari Mahakala. This child was named as Dhundukari. And the Gokarna became Pandit Jnani without going to school. You see, because that's a prarabdha. That's a sadhu blessings. Without going to school, he became so Pandit, Jnani, devotee, nice, knowledgeable, wonderful. But this fellow, No matter what you do, he wouldn't go to school, he wouldn't learn anything, he got into bad habits, he got into so many all kinds of stuff, all four rules are broken. And all money is taken away, finished. And then what happened? Father was so distressed. Oh, I was better before. Why I had this child? But on the other hand, the cow has such a nice child. And then he called him in his office one day, Gokarna. And Gokarna, please tell me, what can I do? What should I do? I'm such a difficult situation right now. This guy, my son, is not my son. Gokarna gave very nice instruction. Dehe stimam sarudire bhimatim tejatvam. Time is going, I know. I have to finish soon. Jaya sutadisu sada mamatam bimuncha. Gokarna said to his father, I mean, he's also considered father to Gokarna. Right? He's a man of house. He said, Father, don't be into it. It's just Maya. Dehe asti rudire, the body is made of blood, bones, and then you having this kind of body, you're saying this mind, forget it. This body is going to be finished one day, very soon. Jaya sutadishu sada mamantam bimancha. Don't be attracted to your son, your wife. Look, this world is going to finish soon. Vairagya raga rashiko bhava bhakti nishtaha. Become renounced. Take a renunciation and take the path of bhakti. So somehow Gokarna was able to convince his father. His name was Atmadev. So finally he understood, and then he became totally renounced. He left home and he went to the forest, and then he started reading Bhagavatam, 10th canto specifically. He started reading Bhagavatam from the beginning, and at the end, as soon as he finished 10th canto, his time was over. And then he went back to Godhead. It is said that by chanting Bhagavatam up to 10th canto, the Brahman became liberated, went back to Godhead. And so this Gokarna, he went also for pilgrimage. And then what happened? The father left, and there is only mother at home. And then this fellow, this bought son, said, "Where is the money? Where is money? Bring me money, otherwise I'll kick you out." If you make a trick to mix children, that will happen. You have to follow some nice Vaishnava principle. Yashoda, I will not go through all the story, forget it. Nanda and Yashoda also followed some vows to get Krishna. Of course, it was pre-arranged, but because for so long they didn't have children, Nanda and Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, they followed. It is said, I read what it was, Krishna Kathamrita by Gaur Govinda Swami. He said, they followed Dwadasi Brata for a whole year. And they had a child, Krishna. And you see those boys who were playing with Krishna, they are not ordinary children. They also, their parent also follow some kind of vow. Some of them did Ekadashi Brata for a whole year. Some of them did total fasting in Purushottam months. Some of them did lighting so many lamps in temple every day. And some of them did many more things. So by doing such nice things, you receive the blessings of Krishna, and then you will have nice children who can play with Krishna. So, what I was saying. Yeah, so as Prabhupada said, either it's a put or mut. Prabhupada says in his word, he said, the mut, the urine is coming from the same genital. The put, you discharge semen from the same genital. But the quality here, it depends on you. One becomes put or mut. The putra, the having the purpose of having a child, the son, is that the person, the son, will deliver his pitris, the forefathers, from, there is a hell, Prabhupada said, there is a hell called Pum, and Pum namno narakha trayate iti putraha. That's what he says. There is a hell called Pum, and the parents somehow or other, if in case some parents have fallen in that hell, the son's duty is to deliver them by doing Shraddha or be fixed in Krishna consciousness. So that is called son, putra. Otherwise, it's mutra. Either it's putra or mutra. So, okay, here. So, Lord Chaitanya said, Bharata bhumite hoila manusya janmajar, right? As we are taken birth as human being in the land of Bharata Bhumi, then we should make our life successful. For what? How? By taking Krishna consciousness. If it was not given by our parents, yeah, somehow or other we have to take to Krishna consciousness, go and join ISKCON temple, and make our life successful. Then you will be able to preach Krishna consciousness all over the world. So, janma sartha kari karo paropakar. You can't do paropakar just like this. You have to make your life successful. So Prabhupada said, making life successful means taking to Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you so much for tolerating me. This time very much over. If anybody wants to ask a question, that they are welcome. Yes, Mataji.
The sage Kashyapa Muni blessed her that if she followed the indication, she would have a demon as she wanted, and if she would not follow, she would have a devotee.
Yeah,
so it seems that she did not follow.
She was following. She was very faithful, and she was fully following. As the story goes, you will know that she accepted all that he said, and he was with her full strength. She was following it, and because if she follows, she is following it, she is going to be successful to have a child who can kill Indra. So Indra became afraid, because it's a long time, for 1 year, and it's a possibility there that one day she may not do what she's not supposed to be doing. So Indra became afraid, and then to keep his position secure, he came as a little boy to serve her as an assistant. He would bring a flower, he would do this and that to worship the Lord. Whatever she needed, he would just he was coordinating all that. So one day he was looking for her faults. Anytime she makes faults, I will destroy her womb. So there was toward the end of the year, she 1 year of following the same vow every day, you get bored. One day, see, when it just so happened, after eating without washing hands or without cleansing herself, she went to rest. Indra said, yes, that's the time. She entered into her womb. She cut the womb into 7 pieces. They were still dancing. Hey, we're still alive, we're still alive. He again cut each of them again 7 pieces. They became 49. They were still alive. Hey, Hari Bol. So that's how they became 49. But because she made a mistake, she didn't make mistakes. She just deviated for a short while. So that's how it became. And finally, because 1 year of following Vaishnava principle, her heart was purified, and then she gave up the mentality. Okay, I wanted 1 child, 49 came, so wonderful, more than 1 dozen, so, so, okay, fine. Okay, then Indra appeared as, oh, you are here? Okay, take them. Take care of them. Hare Krishna. So she followed as much as she could, but there was a little mistake. Yes, Mother. Yeah, he purposely say that when an expert person speaks, they arrange these words such a way that can have two meanings, you know. So one of the acharyas said that within himself he said that yes. Also there is another word, putraste bhavita bhadre. These two words, bhavita bhadre, is two words if you put together, and then that becomes that she is not very wonderful woman. Abhadre, you know, bhavita abhadre. And within himself he said, oh, such a weird woman. You know, you serve me such a nice way. Then when I ask for boon, you're asking such a horrible boon. So he said abhadre. But in open he said bhavita bhadre. You want to be nice to her so that she can follow his instruction. Putraste bhavita bhadre. Oh, auspicious lady, you will have a child who can kill Indra. So the apparent meaning was who will be killing Indra and become friend of demons. But the inner meaning there was that, and also he is giving a condition. If you follow my direction exactly, then you will have as you want. If you don't follow, but there will be something also. Even if you don't follow it, even if you fail to follow it, still there will be something, but not according to you. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare